The sun is coming up over Star Lake. It's chilly. Here it is, end of August. It is chilly. You need to be buying land here in Puget Sound because what the predictions are of climate change is that we're going to have chilly weather in the summer and more rain while the rest of you roast like pigs in hell. I've read, I think it was Jonathan Edwards, a famous preacher to the colonial Congregationalists, who said that one of the joys of heaven would be to overhear the screams of the damned. Well, you've got that opportunity if you buy property in Puget Sound, because when climate change finally locks in, you're going to hear the screams of the damned. Well, I am. I'm going to hear your screams of the damned as I sit here in my hot tub in August. Okay, so what I want to talk about this morning is there's this article in the Guardian magazine about that New Zealand is, in order to make housing affordable for their young people, because it ain't, they are going to prohibit foreigners from buying land in New Zealand. Well, here's what the first response is that I buy a TV and I buy a microwave from China. So little green pieces of paper go to China and a microwave comes here. Then what are the Chinese supposed to do with those little pieces of green paper? Now, it used to be, before President Nixon, that they could turn in a fixed number of green pieces of paper and get out a fixed amount of gold. But not anymore. They just have to buy the gold at whatever the market price is. Those little green pieces of paper ain't nothing. They're not a promise to do anything. It's just there's a worldwide agreement that those little green pieces of paper can be traded for microwaves and TVs and property in New Zealand or wherever. I mean, here in the United States, we've been screaming about that the Asians are going to come over and buy up our national parks. Well, what the hell are they supposed to do with all that little green paper? We got the TVs, we got the microwaves for 3 years, and then they go to the dump, and I guess we send them back to China, or we take them out and dump them in the ocean. And they got these little green pieces of paper. What are they supposed to do with them except buy land? Well, and buy our secrets, industrial and military secrets. Well, and politicians, I suppose. Don't you think they are probably using that money to buy politicians? So there's one thing, which is that fair that we take their microwaves and when we give them a little green piece of paper and then we tell them, no, you can't spend it here. You can't spend it here. Well, it'd be okay if we said, yeah, you can spend it here to buy Boeing airplanes, but they're smarter than that. They said, well, we'll buy your Boeing airplanes if you bring them over here and build them here, and so that we can learn how to build our own damn airplanes. Now, here's the second thing about New Zealand and their land crunch, and that is that my bet is that if you own rental property in New Zealand, then you get to deduct the expenses of that property, maintenance, etc., and taxes. You get to deduct your local taxes, and when you sell that property, you probably get capital gains treatment, meaning that the profit is only taxed at 1/2 of what you get taxed at for slaving away 8 hours a day for some chicken shit boss. All right, that ain't gonna work. If you want affordable housing for your kids, well, you can't give these tax breaks for land ownership and rental properties. Of course, rentals are going to be too expensive, and of course, rich people are going to buy up land for rentals and not sell it to your kids to buy a house. Why would they do that? So, so politicians are very anxious to jump in and make short-term remedies like, we ain't gonna let those goddamn Asians buy land here in New Zealand or Auckland, but they're not really willing to do anything about their own problems, such as their rich people having rental properties. Okay, now I acknowledge that I've spoken all this and in total ignorance, and if you know something about it and you know that I'm full of crap, boy, would I like to hear about it. Let me buy you a car. I'll buy you dinner. Straighten me out on this stuff, because this is just the way it looks from the hot tub. Thank you. I love you. Bye-bye.